The fashion industry, celebrated worldwide for its glamour, innovation, and creativity, harbors a dirty secret that often goes unnoticed: waste. Behind the dazzling lights of the runway and the allure of new collections, there's a hidden side to fashion that's far less glamorous. Every season, designers and brands race to create the next big trend, but this constant cycle of production and consumption comes at a significant cost to our environment. Mountains of discarded clothing pile up each year, forming vast, unsightly heaps in landfills around the world. These piles of unwanted garments not only pollute our planet but also deplete precious resources like water, energy, and raw materials. The sheer volume of clothing thrown away is staggering, millions of tons annually, turning what was once a symbol of self-expression into a growing environmental crisis. This waste comes at a huge environmental cost. Overflowing landfills leak toxic chemicals and dyes into the soil and water, while textile factories release pollutants into the air and waterways. The production and disposal of clothing contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, water contamination, and the destruction of ecosystems. The impact is felt not just locally, but globally, affecting communities and wildlife far beyond the fashion capitals of the world. It's time to face the consequences of our fashion choices and explore sustainable solutions. We need to recognize that every purchase we make has an impact and that we have the power to drive change. By supporting sustainable brands, recycling old clothes, and embracing practices like upcycling and repairing, we can help reduce the mountain of waste and protect our planet for future generations. Fast fashion, with its emphasis on trendy and disposable clothing, has, really made the problem worse. These brands churn out new styles at lightning speed, encouraging us to buy more and more, often at rock-bottom prices. The result? Clothes that are worn only a handful of times before being tossed aside, fueling a cycle of overconsumption and waste that's hard to break. We buy more clothes than ever before, often discarding them after only a few wears. The convenience and affordability of fast fashion make it tempting to constantly refresh our wardrobes, but this throwaway mentality has serious consequences. Most discarded clothing ends up in landfills or incinerators, where it can take decades or even centuries to break down, releasing harmful substances into the environment along the way. This throwaway culture has created a global waste crisis that, honestly, demands our attention. The numbers are staggering. Billions of garments produced each year, with a significant portion ending up as waste. Shipping containers filled with unsold or discarded clothes are sent across continents, adding to the burden on developing countries and straining global waste management systems. We must shift our mindset from disposable fashion to sustainable style. By choosing quality over quantity, investing in timeless pieces, and caring for our clothes, we can make a real difference. Supporting local artisans, participating in clothing swaps, and learning to mend or upcycle garments are all steps toward a more responsible and sustainable fashion future. Together, we can transform the industry and ensure that fashion remains a force for good, not a source of waste. Textile waste refers to any discarded fabric or clothing, whether it's a single sock tossed in the trash or mountains of unsold garments left behind by retailers. Every year, millions of tons of textiles are thrown away, making this one of the fastest-growing waste streams in the world. When we think about waste, we often picture plastic bottles or food scraps, but the reality is that our old clothes and household fabrics are a huge part of the problem. Textile waste encompasses everything from unsold garments languishing on store racks, never finding a home, to entire shipments of clothing that are never even unpacked. Retailers often overproduce, anticipating trends that may never catch on, and when these clothes don't sell, they're often sent straight to landfills or incinerators. But the problem doesn't stop at the store. At home, most of us have closets stuffed with old t-shirts, jeans that no longer fit, and garments we haven't worn in years. Eventually, these items are cleared out, sometimes donated, but often simply thrown away. Even well-intentioned donations can end up as waste if charities can't resell or repurpose them. The volume of textile waste generated globally has skyrocketed in recent years. In fact, it's estimated that the world now produces over 92 million tons of textile waste every single year. This surge is largely fueled by the rise of fast fashion and our insatiable appetite for new clothes. The cycle of buying, wearing, and discarding has become faster than ever before. The rise of cheap, trendy clothing has made it easier than ever to refresh our wardrobes constantly. Fast fashion brands release new collections every few weeks, encouraging us to buy more and more. The low prices make it tempting to purchase items we might only wear once or twice, and the constant influx of new styles means last month's trends quickly become yesterday's news. However, this convenience comes at a significant cost. The ease of buying and discarding clothing has led to a throwaway culture, where garments are seen as disposable. Most of these discarded clothes end up in landfills or are incinerated, releasing harmful chemicals and greenhouse gases into the environment. Many of these garments are made from synthetic fibers like polyester, nylon, and acrylic. Unlike natural fibers, these synthetics are essentially plastics, and they can take hundreds of years to decompose in landfills. As they break down, they shed microplastics which pollute our soil, waterways, and even enter the food chain, posing risks to wildlife and human health. As a result, textile waste is accumulating at an alarming rate, posing a significant threat to our planet. The environmental impact is staggering, from overflowing landfills and polluted landscapes to the invisible spread of microplastics. If we don't address this growing problem, the consequences for our environment and future generations will only become more severe. The environmental impact of textile waste is far-reaching and devastating. The production of clothing requires vast amounts of water, energy, and resources. Growing cotton, for example, is a water-intensive process, often depleting local water sources. Furthermore, textile factories release harmful chemicals and dyes into waterways, polluting ecosystems and harming aquatic life. When clothes end up in landfills, they release methane, a potent greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. The environmental consequences of our fashion addiction are, without a doubt, undeniable. Thankfully, clean technologies are emerging to address the fashion industry's waste problem. Innovative companies are developing new ways to recycle textiles, reducing the need for virgin materials. These technologies break down old clothes into fibers that can be spun into new yarn, creating a closed-loop system for textile production. Other companies are exploring alternative materials such as fabrics made from recycled plastic bottles or plant-based fibers like hemp and bamboo. These sustainable materials offer a more eco-friendly alternative to conventional cotton or synthetic fibers. Several companies are leading the charge in sustainable fashion, demonstrating that, style and sustainability can really go hand in hand. Patagonia, which is well known for its commitment to environmental activism, has implemented robust recycling programs and uses recycled materials in its clothing. Stella McCartney, a pioneer in ethical fashion, has long championed the use of sustainable materials like organic cotton and, even mushroom leather. These brands are really setting a new standard for the industry, proving that fashion can be both stylish and environmentally responsible. When it comes to the fashion industry, it's easy to feel like our individual choices don't matter. But the truth is, as consumers, we actually have a tremendous amount of power to influence the direction of the industry, simply by making more conscious decisions about what we buy and how we use our clothes. Every purchase we make is like casting a vote for the kind of world we want to live in. If we choose to support brands that prioritize sustainability, ethics, and transparency, we send a clear message to the industry that these values matter to us. We can start by supporting sustainable brands, seeking out companies that are committed to reducing their environmental impact, paying fair wages, and using eco-friendly materials. Another powerful step is to simply buy less clothing overall. Instead of constantly adding new items to our wardrobes, we can focus on purchasing only what we truly need and love, which helps reduce overconsumption and waste. Extending the lifespan of our garments is another impactful way to make a difference. Simple actions, like mending torn clothes, sewing on a missing button, or donating unwanted items to charity, can keep clothing in use for much longer and prevent them from ending up in landfills. Even organizing clothing swaps with friends or participating in local repair workshops can help breathe new life into old favorites. These small everyday actions can, significantly reduce textile waste and lessen the burden on our planet. When we choose to repair, reuse, or recycle our clothes, we help close the loop and support a more circular fashion system. Choosing quality over quantity is crucial here. Investing in well-made garments that are designed to last means we'll need to replace them less often, which saves resources and money in the long run. High-quality fabrics and strong stitching can make a huge difference in how long our clothes stay, looking and feeling great. By investing in timeless, versatile pieces that we truly love and will wear for years to come, we build a wardrobe that reflects our personal style and values. These classic items never go out of fashion and can be mixed and matched for countless looks, making them a much more sustainable choice than constantly buying into the latest trends. This approach is far more sustainable than chasing fleeting trends that quickly go out of style and end up discarded. By resisting the pressure to buy what's in right now, we can focus on building a wardrobe that lasts and truly serves us. By shifting our consumption habits, getting involved in community events, and sharing knowledge with friends and family, we can inspire others to make more mindful choices as well. Every conversation and action helps spread awareness and build momentum for change. Ultimately, when we come together and demand more ethical and sustainable fashion, we create a powerful force for good. Our collective choices can drive brands and designers to innovate, adopt better practices, and create a future where fashion is kinder to people and the planet. The difference starts with us, one thoughtful choice at a time. The future of fashion really lies in embracing a circular economy, where resources are used and reused in a closed loop. This means designing clothing for durability, recyclability, and biodegradability. It also involves implementing systems for collecting and recycling textiles, making sure that valuable resources are not wasted. Governments and industry leaders must play a role in promoting circularity by implementing policies that incentivize sustainable practices and penalize wasteful ones. By working together, we can transform the fashion industry into a more responsible and sustainable sector. Creating a more sustainable fashion industry is, honestly, a collective responsibility. It requires a shift in mindset from both consumers and industry stakeholders. We really have to move away from the throwaway culture of fast fashion and embrace a more mindful approach to clothing consumption. Supporting sustainable brands, buying less, and extending the lifespan of our clothes are all steps in the right direction. By making conscious choices and advocating for change, we can contribute to a more ethical and environmentally friendly fashion future. The environmental challenges posed by the fashion industry are significant, but definitely not insurmountable. With innovation, collaboration, and a commitment to sustainability, we can transform the way we produce, consume, and dispose of clothing. By embracing clean technologies, supporting ethical brands, and making conscious choices, we can pave the way for a greener and more stylish future for fashion.